healing. You're at the mercy of Mother Nature, the ever-changing movement of water. The ocean is the great equalizer. You don't need to belong to a certain race, religion, or gender to surf. The pursuit of these fleeting walls transcends sport. It's a way of life. And surfing has the power to change the world and has now taken its place on the world's greatest sporting stage, the Olympic Games. The International Surfing Association is the world's governing body of surfing, recognised by the International Olympic Committee with member nations around the globe. This is the International Surfing Association. This is a better world through surfing.
2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships here in the beautiful city of Copenhagen in Denmark. We are thrilled to be announcing this week's event. It's going to be such an incredible event. We've got past gold medalists, silver medalists and bronze medalists, and we are just so amped to get this going. We're here for the Parade of Nations today. My name is Bo Nixon. I'm joined by Emily Utrup and Anthony Vela here in the booth to announce today's opening ceremony. Thanks for joining us. It's a real pleasure to have you here. We've been back here before in 2017, but this year we've got a lot of past gold medalists here fighting it out to be the crown the ISA World Champions. Emily, you're from Denmark. Tell us a little bit about this special place.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here in the middle of Copenhagen. We are literally in the middle of the channels here in Copenhagen, as we just get some beautiful images here on screen from the Parade of Nations that we're having right now. But yeah, we're in the middle of Copenhagen. We're just here by the Kongelige Bibliotek, which is the National Library. We're really close to the Opera House, where the event took place in 2017. That is where we have some iconic pictures of Kasper Steinfeld winning the gold medal in front of his home crowd. And yeah, we actually have Kasper competing in this event as well. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting event. Also being Danish, being here, it's amazing.
Of course. And Anthony Vela, as our race director, what are you looking forward to most about this week's competition?
Well, the venues are just beautiful. They're going to be racing through the city of Copenhagen in the distance race. The sprint races will take place right in front of the Royal Library. And the technical races and the relays will be happening on a beautiful beach right outside of Copenhagen. So very much looking forward to just the beauty of Copenhagen.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic city to be here. As we look on screen here at the Parade of Nations, this is Austria and also Australia walking here. Austria, a late entrant into it, is Christian Taucher there. And it's going to be great to see all of these nations here. We do have Michael Booth competing in Australia. He's a previous gold medalist, so he'll be looking to back up his titles. As we see Kobe there, he's the prone paddler for Australia, and Richard Finlay-Jones as well competing. As we move into Belgium, Brazil, big team from Brazil this year. Fantastic views of the streets of Copenhagen here, Emily.
I know, it's beautiful to see all the nations walking here in the middle of the city. We have so many amazing athletes competing. I think we have 181 athletes and 41 teams. So yeah, stacked up team. We have France here on the screen coming with a full team. They're the...
Yes, right. That's Noé Gariou there, carrying the France sign, obviously last year's gold medalist.
In the sprint race, and just two people from him is his younger brother, Vaik, who is a two-time champion in the junior technical. He'll be looking to three-peat this year. And so the Gairoos, Noik and Voik, they are paddling legends already. And congrats to Noik, just had a baby.
That's right, yeah, big congratulations to him. He'll be competing first time as a dad. So it's going to be exciting for him. We also see Blue Ewer there on the left-hand side of screen from Team England, along with Hector Jessel. Got a strong team as we move forward into El Salvador and Ecuador. 41 countries represented this year. at the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. It's fantastic to see all these countries walking through. They're going to be crossing over the bridge, Emily, over the canal.
Yeah, they'll be crossing the bridge and the parade, and then they're coming over here in front of the Royal Library, where we will have the ceremony. So we'll watch that live as well, getting the presentation of all the countries. It's always, such a special thing to be part of. I've been part of the Danish national team previously, and to be part of these parades and all the countries coming together, it's such a special moment.
That is so true. It is such a special moment for all of these competitors and athletes. As we see Team Italy here, a very strong team this year. Anthony, any highlights for you within Team Italy?
Well, right there carrying the Team Italy, I wouldn't call that a flag, that's the Team Italy sign. That's Cecilia Pompanella. She's a two-time defending champion in the junior technical, the same as Vaik, so she'll be looking to three-peat. She's also entered in the open races as well, so she has a chance to medal in the juniors and in the opens, which has only previously been done by Jade Housen from the United States.
Yeah, that's right. She's been in such a role this year as well, in European events too, so it's going to be great to see her. Claudia Nica as well in the Italian team, previous medalist here at the ISA Championships, as we have a beautiful aerial shot there of the city of Copenhagen.
Yeah, what a shot. And you just continue down the channel, and you've probably seen the iconic pictures of Copenhagen and all the colorful buildings. That's what we call Nyhavn. It's definitely also, I think they'll be racing really close to Nyhavn on the long distance race. They will also be doing a round about Christiansborg, with the beautiful castle here in the middle of Copenhagen. So it's going to be a beautiful event with where they're going to visit some amazing places here in the town.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic distance race coming up later on in the week as we look at Team Japan. Very strong. No Shrimpy, no Shuriaraki this year, but really strong in the way of Rai Taguchi for the men. And also we have paddling in there. So Nomura in the prone too. Any highlights for you, Anthony? Team Japan this year?
Obviously, Rai Taguchi, he was medaled in both the distance and the technical races last year. So Nomura, he competed in SUP surfing, now doing prone paddling. He actually made his own prone board with his own hands as he shaped his own surfboard last year. Team Japan's looking strong as well. They've medaled in the prone division, both on the male and female sides, so they're looking to have a strong performance as well.
Yeah, definitely. As well as Yurika Horibe. She won the gold medal for the prone in the distance race for 2022. And she had, and 2023, last year as well. And had bronze in 2022. As we take a look at some competitors here during the Parade of Nations. From Lebanon. That's one of our new countries competing this year. In Lebanon, it's going to be Sabine Jabor, and also Hussein is the team official there. So it's going to be great to see them out on the water. As we see Peru walking through here. Very fired up Peruvian team. Itzel Delgado will be competing there. He just competed in the 11 cities over in the Netherlands. So we'll see if, I'm not sure if he's arrived in time yet. He's just finished up yesterday, 220 kilometer race. So we'll see if he's going to be filling up to this week. As you can see, the competitors down there, right in the center of the screen, crossing the bridge there. Poland on screen.
Right behind Poland, looks like Team Puerto Rico. They were the host 2 years ago of this event. There's Max Torres, the current SUP surfing gold medalist, who will be taking place in the prone division this year, so he's excited. We also have on that team Marie-Carmen Rivera. She won medals in all three disciplines, which is very incredible to do that. If you think about a 200-meter sprint, a technical race in the surf, and then to also back that up with a 18-kilometer distance race, that's impressive.
That is really impressive. As we see Max Torres there, just left there of our competitors with his sunglasses on. That is the gold medalist, as Anthony was saying, from last year in the SUP surfing. And as you said, Mary Carmen, going to be a very strong women's competitor this year.
just right in front of Max, right there at the braids, is Lisette Perez. She was on our water safety team in Puerto Rico, got excited about the event, and began prone paddling, and now qualified for the team. So that's one of the parts about this event, is to continue to get people involved in prone paddling and stand-up paddling, and maybe you can make your national team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the ISA is all about as well, having these development programs and just getting these people into the sport of stand-up paddling as well as surfing. It's really fantastic to see everyone coming from different backgrounds, nationalities. Emily, you said you've been on the national team as well for Denmark, so just tell us a bit about what it's like to compete for your country.
Oh, I think it's always, such a special thing and such an honor to represent your country. And, I feel Denmark, I was on the surfing side of the national team, and we're still such a new country when it comes to surfing, but all the other nations who have a longer surf history have so much respect for us coming and representing our country, and so there's such a big and it's fun to be part of a team. Surfing, stand-up paddling is usually an individual sport, and here we really come together as a team. You can see, here everybody has that team spirit. Where we see Scotland coming by here in the national, team jerseys and outfits, and yeah, it's such a special event.
It really is. I mean, you just feel so much pride representing your country when you're walking the streets here of Copenhagen, holding your team flag, your country sign. It's fantastic. Thailand there, a new entrant in the ISA event this year. Lots of people having fun down on the streets there. That is our USA team, Anthony.
USA has got a couple of returning medalists in the junior division. Soren Preston was second place last year. Campbell Carter was fourth place on the men's side. They'll be looking to Campbell actually has graduated into the open division. Soren was second to Cecilia last year. That's Soren on the left. Had some problems with their paddles, but they finally arrived. So she's psyched. Campbell is excited. There's Seychelles making her first appearance at an ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship event. So Team USA coming strong this year. We've got Donald Morale and Tiana Pugliese on the prone team, and they've both medaled before as well.
That's right, yeah, very strong USA team this year. As we move back to the host nation this year of the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship, Denmark. Fantastic to see 6-time world champion, 5-time gold medalist Kasper Steinfarth.
Yeah, it's great to see Kasper being back as an athlete, as we see Asger and Noah Sender here in screen, and Kasper Steinfarth, and behind him is Christian Andersen, which is, polar bear, as we call him as well. He's, a great talent, and I think there's a lot of pressure on him on this event. He really want to take home a medal.
Yeah, that's right. Christian there with the hat on, walking next to Kasper.
And hang on, if I can just say one thing, did I see Christian smile? He has his game face on all the time. Kasper is just stoked. You can see Kasper, but I thought I saw Christian Andersen crack a little bit of a smile, and that's exciting to see. And you can tell that he's just stoked, and Kasper is just relishing this moment.
Oh, he certainly is. He said that this is going to be his final event. He'll be retiring after this. He kind of didn't get that final hurrah, that final event that he wanted to compete in during COVID. So he's back, this time competing in the relay races for Denmark. But very proud host nation.
Yeah, it will be fun to see them in that relay race here in the middle of in Copenhagen, and that's where they really want to take home that medal and, give a celebration to Kasper's amazing career.
Oh yeah, definitely, exactly. As you see Emma Freya Pedersen there, she is one of the younger talents coming out of Denmark as well. As we have a beautiful shot there for the competitors walking along the canals of Copenhagen.
And we see the boats here. This is like if you're ever in Copenhagen, you can take one of these boats throughout the canals. It's an amazing way to see the cities.
There we see in the front row there's Executive Director of the ISA, Robert Fasulio, and then also along that line carrying the banner is Corinne Serralta from Peru. He's the president of the Pan American Surfing Association. Also, it looks like Jacob Farch, who is the president of the Danish Federation as well. So a number of executives out there leading the parade. And if I can just mention Casper, I think he deserves to be talked about as much as we can, but his accomplishments in 2017 were incredible because of the pressure that he was under. A little bit similar to Christian Andersen, but Casper was the trailblazer for Christian. And Casper, you know, with the event being here, he was integral in that. The pressure as an athlete, but he was also kind of part of the organizing committee. All of his friends are texting him, wondering what the surf is going to be like. And so he's being pulled in a million different directions. And for him to go out and execute and regain his title from the year before in the sprint race, I think is a huge athletic accomplishment.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, it just goes to show, I mean, 6-time world champion in Casper Steinfath. He has the mental kind of strength as well to be able to pull that off. And knowing Casper for a long time, competing against him, he is such a fiery competitor, but he's the nicest guy ever you'll meet outside of competition. So he's a really great person to have representing the sport of stand-up paddleboarding. He was previously the vice president of the ISA as well. So great to see him representing that. And we're going to continue following the Parade of Nations through the city of Copenhagen in Denmark. Thank you so much again for tuning in, joining us here for the opening ceremony. We're here with Emily and Anthony. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon. They're going to be walking into the city centre, and we're going to be getting them all up on stage here. So it's going to be great to see all of the nations here together. Emily, just give us your thoughts about what you're seeing through this opening ceremony.
Yeah, as we're seeing now, they're walking down towards the Kongelig Bibliotek, which is the library. This is where we are sitting, where the whole venue is, the city venue as we call it. This is where we're going to be today. Then tomorrow we're going to move the event to Amager Strandpark, which is our beach venue, where we're going to have the technical race tomorrow. So, and you know, Amager Strandpark is still part of the city. It's just a few stops with the metro. So yeah, if you're in Copenhagen, come down and cheer on the competitors. It's going to be such an exciting day. You can see the schedule out here.
Yeah, so tomorrow through to Thursday, we're going to be having the tech racing and also the team relay down at that beach venue. And then we're going to have a lay day on Friday, so we move the event back to the city centre here. We're going to be running the distance race on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to finish off with the sprint races as well. Anthony, what was the decision as the race director to put the races in the city centre, but also at the beach venue?
Well, I think it really shows the natural dynamic environment of Copenhagen. 5 kilometers away from the city is the ocean, and so it's a really unique setting to be able to have a race in the city, but also to be out there on the beach. There's no waves per se out there, but there's plenty of conditions. There's a little bit of wind, a little bit of chop, so it will provide for exciting racing.
Definitely will. And if you want to watch all of those events this week, please do join us, ISAsurf.org. You can head to the Instagram, Facebook as well, ISAsurfing. And make sure you do check out the ISA SUP OK Instagram page, where you're going to get all of the updates. You're going to have some live stories on there too. You'll have the winners from each day of racing as well. So please do follow us along online. Don't go anywhere. You'll be listening to a lot of our voices this week. But it's going to be a fantastic week as we join the competitors again at the Parade of Nations, walking through to where the city venue is going to be held. Such a great shot there. Everyone kind of mixing in. The teams just aren't really separated, are they? There's people mixing in, having a chat with each other. It's great camaraderie here for this year, as is with stand-up paddling in general. It's such a great community. A lot of these athletes are coaches themselves. They have a great community and team behind them too. So it's great to have a lot of people tuning in to cheer on their representatives for their country.
Yeah, I think, as you say, there's such a good camaraderie between the countries as well, and we have to think about a lot of these competitors. They're maybe traveling together most of the year for competitions and stuff like that. So there will be a really good vibe in between the servers as well. That being said, as you said before, they're also fierce competitors, so there will also be competition between them. But right now, it's good vibes all the way down at the Parade of Nations.
Yeah, it certainly is. I've seen a lot of Instagram and Facebook stories of the competitors being kind of in the mainland Europe here. We see a lot of them traveling by road. They're all training together as well, so they are going to train together stay together probably as well. But let's look at the tech race map. This is what's going to be happening tomorrow. Anthony, you want to talk us through the course map?
3 kilometers, 3 laps. Each lap will be about 1 kilometer. Competitors will start at the start line there. On the first lap, they'll have a chance to spread out going to this buoy number 1, and then they'll continue on the rest of the buoys, making a left turn at 2, and you can follow the graph, the picture there. They'll also be coming out of the water, doing a beach run around a flag, and then another beach start right after buoy number 3 before they head to buoy number 4. They'll go by number 5. Next to buoy number 6 is a pier where there's lots of recreational swimmers that are going there and swimming. There's a lot of athletics and just general fitness being displayed. You know, kayaking, swimming, stand-up paddling, all sorts of sports happening, both in Copenhagen and at the beach venue as well. So 7 turns each lap, 3 laps, 21 turns, a lot of action.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. Have you got a little bit of insight into what the weather's going to be like? We know it's going to be quite sunny this week, but is there going to be much wind for the competitors or swell?
According to the locals, which I always go, we can all look at the forecast, but I feel like the locals always have an idea of how it's going to change. No rain, which is great, and I shouldn't even say that out loud, but it looks like it's going to be a little more sunny, a little less wind. We've had a fair bit of wind the previous days, but there will be a little bit of wind to provide some chop for the racers. But it won't be that windy for the spectators, so get to the beach venue and watch the action. All of the semifinals and first round for the Opens will be tomorrow, and all of the finals will be on Wednesday, starting with the junior technical, the prone, and then finishing up with the men's and women's open technical races.
Amazing. So make sure you do tune in to watch all of that action. We're going to be having lots of past medalists there competing as we see them start to head over one bridge. This is just the first bridge they need to cross. Emily, they need to come over the main bridge which connects the canal.
Yeah, then they will cross the other one and they will come over here where we are sitting, and we're going to have the presentation of all the countries.
Yeah, it's a fantastic view here for the Parade of Nations.
This is the Circle Bridge. Is this one of the famous bridges here?
Oh, I don't even know. There's so many famous bridges in Denmark. We're quite famous for our bridges. But
that's one thing I've noticed about walking around the city is just the kind of incredible architecture throughout the city. It's such a clean city as well, very, very sustainable. A lot of people riding around on bikes, a lot of people walking.
And it looks like that's Justine Dupont there in the center with the executives. She's the chair for the Athletes Commission. She's a gold medalist in SUP surfing, but also she's done well in other surfing, regular surfing, as well as big wave surfing, of course, but she's the chair of the Athletes Commission, so great to have Justine and some other members of the Athlete Commission as well.
Yeah, fantastic to have them here representing the athletes as well. Yeah, as you said, Justine there. She is not competing this year, but great to have for the athletes to represent them. There's a very cool bridge there indeed with the Circle Bridge. There's Richard Finlay-Jones from Australia holding the kangaroo. Team Belgium, Brazil. Strong team from Brazil this year as well.
You can see holding the flag there, excuse me, the sign, the Brazil sign, that's Rebecca Klotz, one of the junior competitors. She earned a medal last year, a copper medal, and Brazil has a strong team this year. They're going to be one that's going to be vying for that overall team championship, which really is the essence of this competition. And Brazil with a strong team, it's been amazing to see the camaraderie. They arrive to the training venue together, they train, they leave together. And so a couple of teams have stood out in that respect. Team Italy coming strong, also Team France. And so this, I think, is going to be a great competition for Team Brazil.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're looking forward to seeing them get on the water later on. They're obviously going to fight France for that team title. They've taken it the last 2 years. So can they go for 3 in a row for the team gold medal? Obviously, Denmark will be wanting to bring it back home.
You see Guilherme dos Reis. He's been involved several years and won medals. And they brought a lot of specialty athletes where they might only be doing the sprint or only be doing the technical. And so their team is a little larger because they have the luxury of specializing, and I think that will help not only with the rest, but also just being able to train for one event versus training for a 200 meter, a technical race that's 3 kilometers, and a distance race that's 13 kilometers.
Yeah, because I saw that there's some athletes, we have some athletes here who are competing in 3 disciplines. How, like, well, you've been competing as well. How do you, prepare yourself for that? 3 different disciplines, and how do you keep the energy up for a whole week of competition?
Yeah, it is a lot to be doing 3 different disciplines, but these are high-level athletes, and luckily we do have different breaks between the days. So for racing, as we see the team champion trophy there, so the team wins the gold medal this year. We'll be walking back home with that trophy. But yeah, it is going to be a tough week for those competitors that are competing in 3 different disciplines. Probably the tech, the sprint, and the distance. We know that even some junior competitors are going to be going in those as well, so it could even be 4 races for those competitors. It is a lot, but it's good because it's not too much racing. You're going to only be kind of doing 1 or 2 laps of the technical, and then obviously with the distance and then sprint. So it's quite a short distance that they're doing. So hopefully they're not going to be burning too much energy. But a lot of these athletes have just come off races in the previous couple of weeks, so we'll see how their energy levels are for that. Team Greece, very strong as well. They all competed last year. Guatemala representing. You can hear the cheers from the teams.
And Anthony, if I can ask you something, last year we saw some pretty big surf in the technical race in France, and this year, as you say, it's probably going to be no wind, sunny, calm waters. Will we see other competitors coming into play this year, or how do you think that's going to play out?
That's a really good question. I think Bo would agree that the really good and great athletes are versatile. So whether there's waves, I think most of the athletes here would prefer waves because we're all surfers who also stand up paddle, and surfing, I think, is the essence of stand-up paddling. So I think they're versatile. You might find 1 or 2 that might prefer the flat water, but what it's going to do is the flat water is going to even it out more. So the races will be closer. You might have a set and a few people will get over. They all have the capability. It just depends on where they are with the set. So I think we're going to see tighter racing, which will be more exciting. And I think the athletes are going to really be able, they're going to have to rely on their fundamentals, lots of turns, and it's hard to turn in a little bit of wind after you're tired, so their training in the fundamentals is going to be huge.
And of course the beach starts as well that come into it too. You've got 2 kind of beach entries for that race, so it's going to be interesting to see if people have been practicing that. We know the sprint racing is starting on the board in the water, so it's going to be tough for these athletes that don't have that experience maybe in the ocean or paddling on ocean conditions. All of these nations are carrying their home country sand, so once they get to the opening ceremony in the city venue here, they're going to be pouring the sand into a large container. You're going to be able to see the layers of sand by the end of it. 41 nations carrying sand from their home country as we go through the athletes.
That's one of my favorite parts about the ceremony. It's a great history and great thing that the ISA does at all of their events. And like you said, you can visually see the mixture of the sand, which obviously represents a whole lot more. But I think it's a cool thing that a lot of athletes themselves have kind of taken that and grabbed sand whenever they're traveling and have made it a tradition for them. It's a tradition that ISA has had for a long time, but I think a lot of athletes have adapted that as well. There's Duna Gordillo and Esperanza Reyes. They are kind of flip-flopping each year in the distance race. SB won 1 year, then Duna, then Espe. So if it continues, it's Duna's year, but there's a lot of athletes that are going to say no to that.
That's so true. A very strong Spanish team there. Team USA. Wales. It's going to be well represented. Venezuela.
Venezuela winning the dressing competition. Best dress, yes.
Definitely. And then our home nation of Denmark. Emily, do you Do you surf? Do you catch up with a lot of these competitors when you're back home here in Denmark?
Yes, I actually caught up with Casper just a few weeks ago. I spent some time up in Klitmøller, which is, or Cold Hawaii as we call it, which is our surf spot here in Denmark. It's it's about 4-5 hour drives from here, but out on the west coast, and that's where Casper, Christian Andersen, Noah Sander, they're all from there. And yeah, I had the chance to have a few catch-ups with Casper while I was there.
Maybe you can talk about Noah Stedner because he's one of the up-and-comers. We know Casper, and obviously Christian Andersen has had a chance, but Noah has really been kind of the one on the rise for Denmark.
Yeah, I think, as you say, like Noah, he's also a very, very good longboarder. He's been, competing in longboarding, in stand-up paddle, SUP surfing as well, and now also doing the racing. So he's kind of like a multi-athlete within the SUP and surf. I actually also saw Noah a few weeks ago. I met him in the water. He was out longboarding when we had a really good run of swell here in Denmark a few weeks ago with amazing waves. Now we just have the
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the distance race map up here on screen. Anthony, do you want to talk us through the distance race for this year's ISA?
This is going to be fun for the spectators because there's 16 bridges every lap that the athletes have to go under. Some of the bridges are a little low, so you're going to have to duck. Some of them are long, so you've got to kind of paddle through. And we saw back in 2017 in that center channel, there's actually some wind and current involved. So it's not just a flat water paddle. There will be some technical aspects of the course that the athletes will have to navigate as well. And a lot of strategy going through 3 laps. Those channels are narrow, so they won't be able to kind of spread out 5 wide. So obviously drafting we'll see a lot of. And then you've got to kind of pick your chances of when to make your moves, and there is exactly where the race is going to happen. We see the venue on the lower right side of the screen, the National Architecture Center, I believe, that's there, that has a great slide that we have to check out, Bo.
It does. Yeah, I walked past it today. I was like, oh, can we use that?
We're going down the slide.
Yeah, so fun. Have you used it, Emily?
No.
No, there is a slide in there.
We're all going.
We're all going.
But if you're in Denmark, if you're in Copenhagen, come on down as well. Go down the slide together.
Yeah. What a beautiful shot here, them crossing the bridge, all the flags in the air. But yeah, just coming back to the Danish team, as we're seeing pictures of them here again. I'm really excited to see Noah in the racing as well. I've been following him a lot in what he's been doing in surfing, longboarding, and SUP surfing. So yeah, it will be great to see how he's going to do here in the racing, because I know he's really good, he's strong, and hopefully he'll do good for Denmark and they'll bring home some medals.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a great chance of bringing home some medals, as we see Asger there as well, the young talent.
Yeah, he took a medal last year in the Euros for the juniors and competing again here for the national team. Also, yeah, great talent.
Yeah, so he'll be coming up in the junior boys technical race. As we see the competitors there walking across the bridge, about to get to where the opening ceremony will take place. This is part of the distance course. As we were saying, they'll be paddling underneath these bridges.
And just to add in one more thing about Casper, I can add a million more things, but just today he was down there at the beach venue. So Surf Denmark and the event have got together and raised some funds and helped some of the developing stand-up paddling countries and kind of put it out there. Some teams applied, and I believe there's 10 athletes that are here under this program where they're getting some extra training, and they're helping to develop them so that they can take this new information home and continue to develop the sport. But Casper was down there going through some beat starts with them, and if you're going to learn how to beat start, Casper is a good person to learn from. One of the best at going from running with his board and transferring that running speed into board speed and getting that board moving. So many memorable moments here with Casper, and thinking about that technical race from 2017. Also, the team relay Denmark was in there, and just like you mentioned, Bo, just such a great human being. He is fiery and wants to win as much as everybody, and we've seen him race all over the world, but off the water, he's just has the kindest heart, and now pursuing his new life, being married, and he has a kid as well.
That's right, yeah. So he's a father, and yeah, Casper is just such an all-round great guy. We all know him very, very well, as probably you all do as well, watching at home. One of the most decorated athletes of our sport. As we see Team Scotland.
Well done. It's also a test for us. How well do we know the flags? We gotta wait till we can see the shirt, but well done.
Teams wearing the kilts, of course. Scottish team, this is going to be their first year competing in an ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. Quite a strong team as well. We've got some national champions in there.
Yeah, it's great. We said earlier there's 8 new teams on this event, right? We also have Norway competing for the first time.
That's right. We do have Latvia, Lebanon, Norway, Scotland, Senegal, Slovakia, South Korea, and Thailand competing for their first time this year. I was going to take a look at the sprint race course for this year. The sprint races are going to be taking place on the Sunday of this event, so the final day. Anthony, short sprint course, options of turning around, which bill you prefer?
4 competitors per heat, and there's a natural amphitheater right there next to the course, so it's a perfect venue for this type of racing. So the athletes will start at the starting line 4 at a time. Their lanes are assigned based off of their seatings, and there's 2 buoys. They don't have to tell us which buoy they're going around. They can choose kind of on the fly. There are some impeding progress rules that apply, but you can see right there, there's the venue. The blue pontoons are being put out for the event, and we'll continue to build out the event, but that's going to be an exciting race happening on the weekend, so it's going to be packed. The street will be closed where you see all those bikes are. So they're going to go from the inside to the outside, and so the goofy footers with your right foot forward, it's a little easier for them most of the time to turn right. So the goofy footers will want to line up in those lanes that are closest to the street, and the regular footers will want to turn left. It's a little easier for them, but if you don't have that high seed, you just have to go whichever way that the race takes you. So there's a lot of thinking on the fly that's going to happen in that sprint race.
And just for people who don't know all the technicalities about the racing, is that means that you turn on your heels, that's the easier way to turn?
Yeah, so a goofy footer is going to step back into their surf stance, and they're going to paddle on their toe side, and the board will turn right. And so that's a little bit easier than paddling on your heel side, where a goofy footer would turn to the left or use what is called a cross-bow pivot turn. And so paddling on your toe side is a little bit easier, and so most paddlers will want to do this pivot turn versus doing a cross-bow pivot turn or reaching over and paddling on your heel side. So you guys will have a chance to really talk about that through all of the sprint races, 4 racers at a time, which is different than 2017, where we were running 8 racers deep, and so lessening the amount of competitors makes it a little more fair going around those buoys. And we've also added in a turn for the last 4 years, which previously it was just a 200-meter straight line. So adding a little bit of technical aspect and surfing aspect as well in a sprint race.
Of course, it's going to be fantastic to watch the sprint races take place on Sunday. And we're going to be taking a look here. All the competitors making their way into the city centre here toward the opening ceremony.
Yeah, we're starting to hear them outside. Some good vibes going on.
And, this is where it just starts to become real and exciting. Like the feeling is palpable, and we're starting to hear them. And even the athletes, those are genuine smiles, and it's such a special thing to bring so many people that have worked so hard, not just in their training, but getting here, getting your boards here, and getting the funding and all the things. So thank you to all the families and friends and sponsors and everyone who's helped all of these athletes get here. We have a great show to put on for you for this next week of competition, and huge thank you to the city of Copenhagen and Denmark for bringing the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard champions here. I am so excited. I'm the race director, but I'm also a fan, and I can't wait for it to finish so I can go back and watch the webcast.
Of course, it's going to be a fantastic week. If you are in Copenhagen, there's also a chance for you to get involved as well this week. There's going to be some SUP clinics happening down there on the waterways. There's lots happening here at the event site as well. So come on down, say hello. You can check out ISAsurf.org to have a look at the schedule. We're going to be racing around lunchtime on the race days each day. So you can come on down, have a look at that. It's going to be great that we're going to be in the city for the weekend.
And there is also a lot of side events going on down at the event site. So if you are in Copenhagen, come down. You can also check copenhagensup.com, where you can see the schedule. Looks like we're starting the parade.
Yeah, we can hear Mathieu down there at the opening ceremony. So we're going to throw it down to him to continue through with the Parade of Nations and the opening ceremony.
And please welcome the national team from Argentina. Please welcome the national team from Australia. Please welcome the national team from Austria. Austria, make your way to the stage. Please welcome the national team from Belgium. Please welcome the national team from Brazil. Please welcome the national team from Canada. Please welcome the national team from the Czech Republic. All right, make some noise. Please welcome the national team from Ecuador. Please welcome the national team from El Salvador. Please welcome the national team from England. Please welcome the national team from France. Please welcome the national team from Germany. Please welcome the national team from Greece. Please welcome the national team from Guatemala. Please welcome the national team from Hong Kong. Please welcome the national team from Hungary. Hungary, called to the stage area. Please welcome the national team from Iran. Please welcome the national team from Ireland. Please welcome the national team from Italy. Please welcome the national team from Japan. Please welcome the national team from South Korea. Please welcome the national team from Latvia. Please welcome the national team from Lebanon. Please welcome the national team from the Netherlands. Please welcome the national team from Norway. Please welcome the national team from Panama. Please welcome the national team from Peru. Arriba Peru! Please welcome the national team from Poland. Please welcome the national team from Puerto Rico. Please welcome the national team from Scotland. Please welcome the national team from Senegal. Please welcome the national team from Slovakia. Please welcome the national team from South Africa. Please welcome the national team from Spain. Please welcome the national team from Sweden. Please welcome the national team from Switzerland. Please welcome the national team from Thailand. Please welcome the national team from the United States of America. Please welcome the national team from Venezuela. Please welcome the national team from Wales. And finally, please welcome the national team from the host nation, Denmark. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the countries and athletes have gathered together here in Copenhagen, Denmark. Copenhagen, Denmark. In the spirit of fair play, it is with great pleasure we welcome everyone to the official opening ceremony of the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. We would like to welcome and introduce the following dignitaries. Mayor of Employment and Integration of the City of Copenhagen, Jens Christian Lütken. The President of the Local Organizing Committee and ISA Executive Committee member, Jakob Ferg. ISA Executive Director, Mr. Robert Fasulo. Now please stand for the national anthem of Denmark. Now let us begin the Sands of the World ceremony. We will call on the countries to come to the stage and bring with them their local sands. The sand from each country will be placed in the container on stage to symbolize the peaceful gathering of nations through the love of stand-up paddling and paddleboarding. I'm now calling Argentina. With flag bearer Alma Coleta Spada and sand pourer Fabricio Rondinara. The sand comes from the Playa Grande, Mar de Plata. Australia. Kobe Schultz will be the flag bearer and sand pourer. So I was told anyway. And the sand comes from Mermaid Beach, Australia. I'm calling Austria. Christian Taucher is the flag bearer and sand pourer. And the sand comes from Muir Beach. Thank you, Christian. No favoritism. Belgium, with flag bearer Kiel de Bruyne and sand pourer Loran Vlemings. The sand comes from the beach of Kokside, Belgium. Team Belgium. Brazil. Flag bearer Eri Tenorio, sand pourer Lena Ribeiro. And the sand comes from Playa Arraial do Cabo. Team Canada. Flag bearer Cameron Carney, sand pourer Caroline Cook. The sand comes from the beach of Sylvan Lake. Give it up for Team Canada. Calling now the Czech Republic. with flag bearer Jakub Petrislek and Senpura Katerina Trudlova. That was well pronounced. The sand comes from Jesenice. Czech Republic. Team Ecuador. Xiomara Bowen Alcivar is the flag bearer and Senpura for Ecuador. The sand comes from Playa Murcie Lago from Manta, the city of Manta. Please welcome El Salvador. Marco Falkenstein is the flag bearer and Senpura for El Salvador. And the sand comes from Punta Roca. Here comes Team England with Tess Page as the flag bearer and Annabelle Page, the Senpura, and the sand comes from Exmouth. Come on, England. Here comes Team France. Elise Daudignon is the flag bearer and Mélanie Lafenette is the Senpura. And the sand comes from Osogor. Please welcome Germany. With Maui Sarr as the flag bearer and Josefina Karst as the Senpura, and the sand comes from Heiligenhafen. Heiligenhafen. Thank you, Germany. Here comes Greece. Tassos Tsouris is the flag bearer, and Vasilis Samniotis is the Senpura. The sand comes from Golden Beach, Chania. Here comes Guatemala. With Brian Esteban Berkovich Jobel and Rafaela Vergara Fernandez. And the sand comes from Rosario Monterico. Good job, Guatemala. Here comes Hong Kong. Chan Wing Ki is the flag bearer and Pang Yuen Hing is the Senpura. The sand comes from Stanley Beach. Hong Kong. Now representing Team Hungary, the flag bearer and Senpura is Csilla Koksis. And the sand comes from Balatonfurt. Here comes Iran. With Alireza Gaharian as the flag bearer and Alireza Rostami as the Senpura. And the sand comes from Shalamche Beach, Shohadai Gavas. Good job, Iran. Here comes Ireland. Olsin McGrath is the flag bearer and Senpura, and the sand comes from Spanish Point, County Clare, Ireland, of course. Here comes Italy. Nicolo Rico, the flag bearer, Cecilia Pampinella, the sand pura, sand coming from Civitavecchia near Rome. Forza Italia. I'm calling Team Japan. Kotaro Miyahira is the flag bearer, and Orono Hirata is the sand pura. The sand comes from Tsurugasaki, which is the worth pointing out that the sand comes from Tsurugasaki, which is the very first Olympic surfing venue. Here comes South Korea. Ji-won Choi is the flag bearer and sand pura for South Korea. The sand comes from Gwangali Beach. Great job, Ji-won. I'm calling Team Latvia. Alexis Doma is the flag bearer. Julia Doma is the sand pura, and the sand comes from Jomala. Give it up for Latvia. Lebanon. Hussein Zinedine is the flag bearer, and Sabine Jabour is the sand pura. The sand comes from Colonel Beach in Batroum. Lebanon. And now Team Netherlands. Petronella van Malsen is the flag bearer. Marit Miedema is the sand pura, and the sand comes from Scheveningen. Now representing Norway, Thomas Nielsen, who is the flag bearer and sand pura. For Team Norway, the sand comes from Gunnarsholmen. Good job, Thomas. See you tomorrow. Calling Team Panama. Stephanie Boden bears the flag and pours the sand for Panama. The sand comes from Amador. Now give it up for Peru. Hernan Lizardo Martinez Mozombite, both flag bearer and sand pura. And the sand comes from La Playa, Serra Punta Hermosa. Don't forget your flag. No olvides tu bandera. Arriba Peru, and here comes Poland. Nikolai Maiden. And I don't know the other person's name, but the sand comes from Sopot Beach. Poland. Calling now Team Puerto Rico. Christian Lopez is the flag bearer, and Lisette Perez is the sand pura. The sand comes from Flamenco Beach. Here comes Scotland. Glenn Sloss is the flag bearer, and Angela Kerr is the sand pura. The sand comes from Sanox on the Isle of Arran. Calling now Senegal. Omar Guissé is the flag bearer and sandpurer, and the sand comes from the Lagune de Saumon, Senegal. Calling now Slovakia. Matej Smida represents Slovakia both as a flag bearer and sandpurer, and the sand comes from Bodona Beach. Thank you, Matej. Here comes South Africa. Kiara Vorster, flag bearer. Cameron Tripney, sandpurer. The sand comes from Melbostrand. Here comes Team Spain. Luis Perotti, the flag bearer, and Alexia Soto, the sandpurer. And the sand comes from Arenales del Sol. I'm calling now Team Sweden, Sverige. Wilhelm Carlsen, the flag bearer, and Oskar Sternfeldt, the sandpurer. The sand comes from Tjärnåstrand, Sweden. There you go. Sweden. Calling now Team Switzerland. Nathan Denis and Sabine Fischer. The sand comes from the beach of Alaman, Switzerland. Calling now Thailand. Karanpon Nitita Wachpong is the flag bearer. And well, I don't know the other person. I only have one name for Thailand. Go Thailand! And the sand comes from Kata Beach, Phuket. Calling now the United States of America. Campbell Carter, the flag bearer, and Don Miral, the sandpurer. The sand comes from Encinitas, California. Calling now Venezuela. Vicente Villanova is the flag bearer. Nancy Losada is the sandpurer. And the sand comes from National Park Morocco. Here comes Team Wales with Joe Jones as the flag bearer and Emily Evans as the sandpurer. And the sand comes from the beach of Barry. And please give it up now for Denmark! Kasper Stanforth, the flag bearer. Christian Andersen, the sandpurer. And the sand comes, of course, from Amager Strand here in Copenhagen. All right, now it is my great pleasure to present to you ISA race official Andrea Silva and Noe Gariou, representing Team France, who have been nominated to swear an oath for good sportsmanship in the name of all the judges and athletes.
Hello. In the name of all the athletes, we promise to take part in this 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship, respecting and abiding by the ISA rules and in the spirit of fair play, inclusion and equality. Together we stand in solidarity and commit ourselves to surfing without doping, without cheating, without any form of discrimination. We do this for the honor of our teams, in respect for the fundamental principles of Olympism, and to take the world a better place through surfing. Thank you.
In the name of all judges, we promise to take part in this 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship, respecting and abiding by the ISA rules and in the spirit of fair play, inclusion and equality. Together, we stand in solidarity and commit ourselves to surfing without doping, without cheating, without any form of discrimination. We do this for the honor of our teams, in respect for the fundamental principles of Olympism, and to take the world a better place through surfing. Thank you, and good luck to everyone.
And now we are pleased to welcome a local performance from the SUP drummers. SUP drummers! Thank you very much, the SUP drummers. Now we have the pleasure to share a recorded video message from the ISA president, Fernando Aguirre, who is unfortunately unable to be present today.
Hello, every day at Denmark, Copenhagen, beautiful Copenhagen. I would like to thank you, everybody, for coming to beautiful Denmark and going to spend these amazing days at the ISA SUP and Paddleboard World Surfing Championships. I would like to say thanks, Jacob Furch, member of the executive of the ISA and head of the organizing committee, our friends at Sports Event Denmark, and of course, everybody in Denmark for welcoming us once again to this beautiful country and beautiful city. I wish all the competitors the best time. I know you're gonna remember this event for the rest of your life. It's beautiful, it's nice, enjoy the nightlife, make new friends, and let's continue to push SUP, especially SUP racing, into the Olympic Games. I know it's been frustrating. We asked for SUP to be included in the Tokyo Games. We were turned down. We asked for SUP to be included, of course, in the Paris Games and in LA. And we will continue to support and work with you guys, all of you guys. So SUP racing and SUP in general is part of the Olympic Games, as it deserves to be. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the competition. Have a good time.
Thank you very much, President Aguirre. It is now my privilege to introduce you to the Mayor of Employment and Integration of the City of Copenhagen, Jens Christian Lutken.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. And welcome to Copenhagen, the best city in the world and the best city for the best paddle surfers in the world. You have come from all corners of the world to race for the gold medal. And this event connects you with fellow riders from all over the world. Riders with a shared ambition to compete at the highest level. To me, it doesn't get much bigger than that. This championship actually captures the spirit of Copenhagen. Copenhagen too is a place where the best within their field go to compete. Go to ride for their own destiny and go to fight for a chance that they can do even better. This championship will take place in the clean blue waters of Copenhagen, in a harbor where it's safe to swim and do water sports, and by large the biggest beach in Copenhagen. Both venues are places all Copenhageners know and love. In my eyes, it was a very strong move when the International Surfing Association chose Copenhagen as a destination for the World Cup. Here in Copenhagen, we might not have the big waves of Hawaii, but we do have one of the cleanest harbors in the world and some of the nicest people as well. And we also have the unofficial the title as the capital of Scandinavia. Sorry, Sweden. But let's go back to the harbor thing for a second. In the last 30 years, the city of Copenhagen has worked tirelessly to transform it from an industrial harbor into a recreative blue space in which thousands of Copenhageners go to swim every day, myself included, whenever I get the chance. And actually, I tested the water earlier today, and it's very nice, it's clean, maybe a bit chilly, but you don't have to fear anything if you fall in the water. Copenhagen is now one of the only few big cities in the world with a clean harbor suited for swimming. I hope you will appreciate it just as much as I do. And as a mayor of this city, I'm also proud to see Copenhagen once again hosting such kind of event. I hope you will feel supported from excited Copenhageners cheering on you. And I promise you that this city is where we salute everyone eager to push the boundaries to achieve even greater things. I sincerely hope that you will enjoy your time here in Copenhagen and that you will come back to Copenhagen. And now I will pass the floor, and then I will come back later to officially open this great event. Thank you very much for your attention.
We love Copenhagen already. Thank you, Mr. Lütgen. It is now my privilege to introduce you to the president of the local organizing committee and ISA executive committee member, Jakob Ferg.
Thank you, Matthew. Dear Mayor, delegates, ISA executive members, team managers, athletes, and also volunteers, on behalf of the Danish stand-up paddle and surfing community, welcome to Denmark, welcome to Copenhagen. We are so thrilled to have you all here. We are stoked to once more host the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. And we are proud to welcome a massive 41 nations, a new record for the SUP and Paddleboard racing participation at the ISA World Championship. Congratulations. The organizing committee are looking forward to 7 days of SUP and Paddleboard Festival, not only competition and crowning the new world champions, but also 7 days of social activities, party, fun, and celebrating the love of water sports and the love of the ocean. So it was 7 years since we were gathered here in Copenhagen the last time. 2017, and now it's 2024. It feels almost like a lifetime since we competed here in front of the Opera House a little further north in the harbor. And following the opening and the racing activity in Copenhagen, we moved further 500 kilometers to the west coast, to Vorupør, where we finished the subsurfing and technical racing events. These 7 years looking back on the development of stand-up paddle here in Denmark and around the world, and the development of ISA and surfing with the success of hosting Olympic surfing in Tokyo and now Paris this year, I think we can say that we are in a time of progress and in a time of transition. I believe that we at this moment in 2024 with you as participants are entering a new era for SUP around the globe, a new era for SUP in our national federation, and a new era for SUP in ISA. In this year, we see SUP stars of the past 10 years transitioning into a new time in their careers, leaving space and room for all the new talents. Many names coming in my mind, but I would like to mention Titouan Pouillou from France, Candice Appleby from USA, and Kasper Steinfeld from Denmark. Retirement has many faces and brings great new opportunities for you, for new adventures, new paths in personal and professional lives. Still part of the community, maybe coaching, maybe in sports leadership, still sharing the passion, sharing the experience, and sharing the stoke. Thank you all that are at that moment in your career for the excitement you have given us. And Kasper, we're looking forward to see you racing your final last time on Thursday. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing that. Closing one era marks the beginning of a new era with new talents, new name to dominate the races and rankings. And we have already seen this for the last 2, 3, 4 years and are eager to find out who has the upper hand now. Which names are the ones we will remember in the future? We will know more on Sunday when we crown the new champions. But a new era also means new nations that are progressing and moving up the scale. We have succeeded this year for this championship, expanding our global SUP community, bringing a total of 8 new nations from 3 continents to this World Championship for the first time. So a special and warm-hearted welcome to Latvia, Lebanon, Norway, Scotland, Senegal, Slovakia, South Korea, and Thailand. Welcome. with so much support, so much positive momentum, and so many talented young athletes out there. All of us, athletes, national federations, ISA, should work hard for this new era to become the Olympic era of SUP. We should build on the success with stand-up paddle already in the Pan American Games, also introducing SUP to the program of the European Games and the Asian Games, and eventually, as Fernando said, to the Olympic Games in Brisbane 2032. So with this event in Copenhagen, we are able to show the potential for the sport and ISA's premier SUP event and what it has. Involving the host city, using the city as our venue, we have the Royal Library as a support facility and backstage, the beaches and the harbor as our playing ground, how the sport can attract new partnerships. And this year, we are reaching new levels of activating the public and the citizens in a World Championship events. You will see here at the city venue that more than 500 school kids will visit the venue during the week, participate in educational activities and do water sports. And we aim for 500 persons minimum on the water for a mass participation race on Saturday before the long distance racing is going on. And you can still sign up for this. So to be able to throw this big party off, we have to, of course, show some gratitude. And we'd like to thank Bob and his team and Fernando and ISA for trusting us one more time, putting the World Championship event in the hands of Denmark. And also big hand to Michael, Ole, Victor and the team in the Danish office here in our federation who has been steering and planning the coordination of this event. Great job, you guys. And to all our major public partners, of course, thank you to the city of Copenhagen, Sportem in Denmark, and wonderful Copenhagen. Without your financial support and support with also planning, coordinating, and executing this event, it would not be possible. Our presented by partners, Volkswagen and Danish Endurance, who are securing the delivery of a high-quality event. And I would also like to pay gratitude to the official partners, that is Dry Rope, Rawbite, Mistral, Rema 1000, Geodis, and a final thank to all our business partners. Thank you. So, 48 nations here gathered for racing events. You have made us proud to come here. Now it's time to come to make your country proud. It is time for us all to celebrate 1 week of racing for the world title in stand-up paddle and paddleboarding. Good luck to you all. Thank you. Merci. Gracias. Tak. Mahalo.
Thank you, Mr. Ferk. Now we would like to invite the flag bearers from all nations to come on stage to represent the union of all the colors of the flags for peace, camaraderie, and good sportsmanship. Flag bearer, please come stand with the Mayor of Employment and Integration of the City of Copenhagen, Jens Christian Lutken, who will officially declare the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship open.
And now it will all soon begin. I hereby declare the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship for open.
Come on, everyone on stage.
A better world through surfing.
All the flag bearers on stage.
Thank you, ocean. Mahalo. It's
ride to school with you? My dad's lost his car keys. Our parents overslept. I've got a flat tyre.
Yeah, sure. Morning. Could I ride with you? My driveway is totally blocked. Yeah, sure.
More space for joy. The ID Buzz GTX with up to 7 seats.
Volkswagen.